Honestly, I'll start it off with you just have to be humble all day, every day. But you get to a place where you know your worth and you know, okay, I've done this many jobs with these artists and I've worked with these professionals and I've done this and I've done that. So you don't want to stay in a place where it's like, okay, I got here 5 years ago, so I don't expect myself to be still when I got here 5 years ago with 0 gigs. Now I have a resume under my belt and what things that I've done, so now I accept certain things and I don't accept certain things when it comes to any job. So you obviously want to be humble and keep yourself as a gracious person, but you also, because you are your boss, you are your everything, you have to be like, no, I won't accept this job because it's you're not going to treat me well. You're not paying me what I should be getting paid, or I'm not being treated how I know I should be treated. So yeah, just you have to keep yourself grounded, but you also need to know your worth. And that's kind of how you do progress in this industry. For me, that's how it's worked. I do certain jobs, and now 5 years in, people will be like, can you do this job like tomorrow, $50? And you're like, is this a smart move for me to do? And then you go from there. Like for me, I tell anybody, it's like when you get an agent, when you get a manager, it's not in a bad way they work for you, but you are your business. So if you're like, yeah, I'll take the same job I took 5 years ago with the same pay and nothing, like you're gonna keep yourself at that level. And if not, it's like, man, you might need $200, but at the same time, it's like, okay, but if I go to a professional setting and someone's like, oh, she's been doing these same old jobs at the same level for 5 years, you can pay her less than what she's really worth because she thinks that way of herself. Well, my experiences have been amazing. I've had a really good time. I mean, there's really no preparation, honestly, because your whole life changes in an instant and your whole life is on the road. So you've never experienced not living in a house with your own room and your own bed. Like all of that goes out the window. So you can't really, I tried to prep myself as much as I could from what I saw growing up. I'm like, and what I thought, like what I imagined tour would be. But for me, I overpacked completely. So I would say definitely don't spend your money on tour, like, you know, just throwing your money to shopping or whatnot. But for sure, don't bring a whole bunch of bags because you're traveling on a bus with 12 to 20 other people, living with them, sleeping in the same quarters, so you don't have as much personal space to kind of just be yourself. But it's the most amazing experience. You get to see like parts of the world with such fun people, and yeah, and it's your job. So that's like the best part about it too, because you don't have to worry like, okay, am I making money? Do I have a job? Like that is your job. And it's just the best experience. I always thought of myself as like super independent, but after touring, I was like, I was confident in that. I didn't have to keep kind of telling myself like, yeah, you're a good girl, like you've got it, you can do all of this. Like after I did it, my first time, I was like, okay, like you've got it, you can take care of yourself, like you are very independent, and I could stand in confidence in that statement. And that's something that I was really proud of myself for kind of acknowledging. I just have a lot of faith. So anytime that I'm like, oh man, this, should I be doing this, should I not? Because everyone doubts, everyone, especially doing this. It's like you never have a solid job. You never have it's always like, you're always living in the place of like the unknown, which is the scariest place you could be, but it's also super fulfilling when you can do what you want, and when you are able to go on a tour tomorrow if someone calls you and you're like, you need to leave tomorrow for 6 months. Okay, I can do that. And the unknown is scary, but I've learned to have faith in it, and that kind of gets me through. But honestly, I love to perform. I've always loved to perform. Like when I was younger, I was never like the best girl in the studio or the best dancer here or there, but I knew I loved to perform, and anytime I would watch myself back or get any feedback, it's like, you're just such a fabulous performer, and I'm like, I just love to do it. It's not something that I work on or that I feel like I'm putting a whole bunch of effort into me just getting on stage and just doing what I do. And now, especially being in a show that I get to do that every single night, I'm like, I love it. Like, I still get super teary-eyed and super emotional because I'm like, whoa, I get to do this as my job. That is so cool. So yeah, I think it's just the love for performing is amazing. And to perform to a live audience is incredible. The most important. You're gonna be waiting for the next all the time. All the time. So you have to really, really accept patience as something that you have to work on every single day and give it a shot. Because for me, that's so hard for me, being patient. And I have to literally tell myself, like, Asia, you are not being patient. Like, be patient in the moment because things are not about to go your way or things are not about to happen as quickly as you think they're going to happen or should happen. So you have to kind of, patience is something you have to reiterate 4,000 times, like on the daily. It's something I work on every day.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.